Hi, friends. I hope you're all doing excellently wonderful. This is Parinitha, and I'm here today to talk about some such wonderful topic wherein I actually announced 2026 as the year of silence, and I found this book wherein it's beautiful. This is called as the Science of Becoming Oneself by Torkam Saradarian. The chapter number is 19, and the chapter's name is The Meaning of Silence, wherein we understand what is silence all about, and this will be in parts, so please make sure that you watch the other parts as well, so that we know the entire science of silence and the meaning of silence as such. So without any further delay, let me start reading this. So it says that over the door of some schools where advanced studies in the teachings were offered are these words: to know, to dare, to will, and to be silent. To know, to dare, to will, and to be silent. So, there are several reasons for silence being so strongly emphasized in ancient mysteries, teachings, brotherhoods, temples, and in earlier true Christianity. So, the first point in this particular chapter is that in advanced teaching, students were trained and prepared to know, to dare, to will, and to be silent. Although silence was not needed there in the schools where the teaching was given, it was necessary for students to be silent under other circumstances. So, silence was essential when they came in contact with lower level people to prevent incorrect, unclean thoughts from corrupting the purity of the teaching. So, the main reason for silence was to protect the teaching and the students. So, the teaching should be protected because people live on different levels of development and each person understands according to his own level. For example, a group of students is studying advanced teaching concerning perhaps the laws of life or of cosmos. The teaching will remain pure and safe providing the students do not speak of it in outer circles. However, if they do speak of it outside, the teaching becomes degenerated. The listeners do not understand it as it is given from the source, and each one interprets it on his own level and passes his version on to others on another level. So, if you can see the subtlety of this message. So, this continues until the teaching eventually emerges as a complete distortion. Thus occurs the degeneration of the sublime truth of the teaching, and each low level person adds something or changes something according to his background, his development, his degree of understanding, and his level of beingness. That's wonderful, isn't it, my dear friends? And this is the first point, and I'm going to read the second point and stop there and continue it in the part 2. So, the second point is that the students themselves must be protected. Knowledge is power, and whoever has knowledge has power. And with this power, people can be controlled. People can be controlled. In olden days, this knowledge, the teaching, was given only to those persons who were pure in the heart, filled with love, compassion, and the spirit of service. If the knowledge were passed on to those who were intelligent enough to understand it, but who were lacking in the quality of holiness, the teaching then would become a dangerous instrument in their hands because it could be used to enslave people. And the same holds true today. The most important thing in the world is to develop a pure heart, for only through purity of heart can one have right motives. The chief purpose of the teaching is to develop purity of motive. When purity is acquired and expressed as service to our fellow men, knowledge can be given. So, without purity and service, knowledge cannot be used for creative purposes. And those who do not have purity or holiness of heart and motive may develop deep pride or selfishness when they acquire knowledge. Then, if they try to use or teach this knowledge, their pridefulness increases and they are led onto the left hand path, the path of destruction and evil. And to avoid this happening, in the old schools of mystery or education, students are instructed to remain silent for years. So, that's the first part of the meaning of silence from this book. The Science of Becoming Oneself, written by Torquem Saradarian, my dear friends. So I'll see you next time again. Hope we have learned something today, and I have learned something definitely. So I'll see you again next time. Till then, take care of yourself. This is Parinitha signing off for now.